Here we are, more blueprints. Yay, day 7, which is also going to be the 13th day of the month, and I think a Friday. Ooh, Friday the 13th. That doesn't bode well. So here's our allowance. That is right. Every single day, 2 coins. Without fail. We still also have the blessing of the Dancer. That's a 3-day timer on that guy. So we can still use that stuff with the gems. Let's see what other kinds of rooms we can get. There are more outer rooms we haven't chosen. I've seen 1 or 2, I believe, that I have not picked. So we're going to pick something I haven't picked yet. That's what we're going to do. Okay, what do I want? Shelter, schoolhouse. Adds 8 classrooms to today's draft pool. Protects you from the negative effects. We've seen the shelter a lot, and I haven't picked it yet. I think I'm going to take the shelter. We haven't done it. We're going to see what kind of stuff we can find down here. Just seeing, maybe there's stuff here. No. Alrighty. Got some supplies. A nice art. Remain where you are for now. Given that the Red Guard is due tomorrow, we've agreed with your plan and have disabled remote access to the other terminals and have sealed the network mainframe. Regardless of the danger, I am still not willing to risk removing shelter from the draft pool while the 3 of you are down there. Our best bet is to sit tight and hope for a little bit of luck. So, I'm not sure who this is written for and who this is written to, but it seems to explain why certain things in the manor are the way they are. Disabling remote access to the other terminals, for instance. It could be that this particular action for this note is why we can't use remote access on the terminals, but it's also possible that this was done at a separate time, it was undone, and then when Herbert died, it was done again. I'm not willing to risk removing shelter from the draft pool. So this whole thing about the way the house works isn't just for my own benefit for the game. Like, this is apparently just how the house works. And there were apparently 3 people down here, and not removing the shelter from the draft pool was a risk because I guess the Red Guard could come here, draft the shelter, and find the 3 people. However, if they removed shelter from the draft pool, the 3 people wouldn't be able to leave, probably. I think that's the risk. We have another terminal. Mount Holly Bomb Shelter. Time lock safe. The shelter's time lock safe can be accessed by setting an unlock date and time. You can use any date and time as long as it's at least 1 hour in the future. Once unlocked, the time lock safe will remain open for 4 hours. Let's look at that safe. It's been here. I've just blown past it. Time lock safe. What else? Canned water? Cool. So this safe is, well, probably one of the 8. So we had, let's see if I can remember correctly, we got the orchard counts as a safe, because if we count small gates, that's a safe. The, what did we open? We opened the boudoir. There's one in the office for sure. And I think there was one in the study, and then there's one here. That's the 5th safe. So we found 5 of them. This one is also unlocked using a date, as the puzzle we did yesterday tells us. But the date isn't something we have to guess. It just is any date in the future. We just set the unlock date and time. Now, in reality, this is pretty insecure, because most people just kind of know what day it is. The trick is, in this game, we have to find out the day, and we finally have, like, confirmation on that. We've been sort of guessing at it in the past, but because we have the library, and we could see the day we checked something out, we know that today, the 7th day, is day 13. We also know we start every day at 8 o'clock a.m. That's what you see the clock at the top right of the screen every time the day starts. It's at 8. So we're going to say it's November 13. And we don't want to set it for 8. We don't want to set it for 9. It has to be at least 1 hour in advance. We're going to set it for 10. In fact, I'm going to set it for 11 just to make double sure, because we're going to go through the house a bit before we come back. So November 13th, which should be today, unless I have screwed this up somehow, at 11 a.m. We'll just double check our day is this, the 7th. We add 6 to this. to get day 13, or November 13th. We can't see a clock down here. That's just too bad. We will come back. This will be open anywhere from 11 to 3. And it'll just be open. We don't have to do anything. And if it's like the other safes, it's going to have a red letter in it. Radiation monitor, a measurement of the radiation levels detected in the house and surrounding grounds. These readings are often spiked by the experiments conducted in Mount Holly's laboratory. If the reading is 12 USV or higher, an emergency protocol will initiate and all doors in the house will automatically unlock. So the levels are going to be really low. There you go. So that's something to keep in mind if you draft the shelter. I don't know if it is something that happens regardless of what room you draft. I've never made this trigger, but apparently if you go to the laboratory and run an experiment, which we haven't really done all that much, if you go there and run an experiment and you're successful enough with the experiment, you can trigger that. Logging into the network is not all that useful, but I can at least order an item for the commissary to arrive tomorrow or the day after, depending on the item we order. I think that's all we can do from here. Yeah, we can't do remote terminal access, nothing else is there. Electronic mail also doesn't work. So we're going to special order. And I think, I don't know which thing I want. Let's say metal detector. Not currently. I wonder if this will ever be available. I've never gotten the data transfers to be available. Okay, so we're going to leave, and we're going to come back in a couple hours of game time, not real time. This will not be a video quite so long. And in addition to that time lock safe we've discovered, we also are protected from 3 red rooms today. The first 3 we draft. Yeah, it's almost 9, so I'm going to come back in about 2 hours of game time, which won't be all that long. Let's start over here today. Hallway's great right here. And let's throw some dead ends this way. Let's do this one. Let's get ourselves a key and another gem. So yeah, pretty simple stuff now. We don't have to worry about these pictures. We have solved that puzzle. Unless there's something else involving those pictures, but don't think so. Now I want this to move to the right. Or we can just take our sledgehammer right now. So the thing about the coat check, which is neat, is that if you have an item in the coat check is more likely to show up. Oops, retrieve sledgehammer. So now I have, yeah, just that. It's not the most useful item on its own. We do need to find a trunk to use it on. But otherwise, yeah, otherwise it's fine. Let's head the straight direction and see what we get. Chapel. So the chapel doesn't scare me. And so if I draft the chapel, what's going to happen is the shelter is going to prevent this from happening, which is fine, but I think I'd rather use the shelter's ability to stop a red room that I really hate. So I'm going to draft the parlor, which tells me the entrance hall, this room over here, does not need to move up. So I'm going to try to draft something that doesn't move up, which is not exactly... Oh, package delivered. But also the den. Because if I do this, I really am in trouble if I make this many dead ends to start my run. I'm really in trouble. This is very, very good, though. Well, here's the thing. The mailroom's going to show up again. If the package is delivered, I know it's going to show up again. I need to give myself options. So we're going to go to the den, and I see a trunk in the den, so the sledgehammer is going to be helpful now. And then we're going to hope for a mailroom to show up again. Oh, wow. It gives us this silver key right off the bat. Okay, so we're going to see if we get the mailroom here. There it is. That's a good place for it. Although, is it really? Because now this is closed off. So I actually do want the observatory here. I'll draft the mailroom later. I think I'm sort of forced to do that. Alright, so we get the Southern Cross. Rooms with 4 doors are more common today. This is going to help us get around. I'm going to, hope for the best to get into the antechamber, but I'm not going to bet everything on it. That's sort of how this game works. I'll say every day. It's not really about being successful 100% every day. It's about setting yourself up for success in the future. This should go here, I think, because I don't want it to turn to the right. I want this room to go up. So this will be the spare room. And then let's see what I can get out of here. Do I have a better chance of getting something to take me straight forward from the den, or a better chance of getting something to curve to the right from the parlor? That's the question of the ages. Also, why don't I play the parlor game and get 2 more gems? Why don't I just stock up on those? Am I dumb? I might be. Wind up key. Gems are not in the white box or the blue box, okay? Gems are in both of... Okay, they can't be in 2 separate boxes. That's the rules of the game. This is automatically false. Gems are in both the black... Okay, that is also false. So this must be true. And it's not in the white or blue box, so the black box has the gems. Okay. I'm hoping for something to turn to the right. Actually... all of these are 4-door rooms, and I want to take one of these because the shelter will make sure it doesn't do its thing. Now, it is a little bit crappy that I sort of waste 2 exits from this, but that's okay. It removes it from the draft pool later, and after I've made 3 red rooms, then I will face the, the negative of a red room, so I want to get the weight room out of the way early. So now it's basically just a room. Doesn't seem to have anything in it, unfortunately. So let's go back to the other side now that we know that this passageway is good, and head this way first, because I'm a little bit more pinned on the side than I am here. So I want to make sure this side works out really well. But what oh, those are so tempting, but I can't do it yet. Also, I shouldn't do this. All of these count as dead ends, so let's ask what the best thing to do is. Best thing is mailroom, give myself items. You might think the Nook has a key, but this has the potential for more than 1 key, and I just totally... No, lockpick kit is not a biff, this is a potential for infinite keys. So gems is good. Magnifying glass, we'll see if this is useful. And then lockpick kit. So let's see where this run is taking us. So far it's not giving us like a really clear directive. What the heck is... Oh, hold on. For our first treasure map. We haven't seen this yet in this set of runs. So the way this works is we have to find this room. I don't know what this dotted line means, actually. I didn't bother looking it up, because every time I've gotten to this room, there's been treasure there. I don't know if it means we have to fill in all these rooms before it appears, or if we just have to get there. Either way, it's quite far in the estate. It's up here, and we haven't done any of these rooms anyway, so... Alright. This could be the shortest day ever, if I do not get good luck on the next draft. Then I will be a very, very sad little girl. Okay, boiler room is good. The boiler room is... No, hold on, rotunda's also good. Can rotate. So it looks like it's going to the left, but it rotates, so the doors will actually go in different directions. So the question is, spend 3 of the gems. I have 1 billion gems. I'm so good on gems. And I get 4 exits total. One of them's goes nowhere, so 3 exits. This one I enter in, the far one, and the one on the right. This will only give me 1 extra exit, but I'll spend less gems, and it's a power source. So a neat thing about the power source is when you have created the power source, and you try to draft a room where power is going, it is more likely to draft a room that uses power. So if I'm looking for a room with power, I want the boiler room first. A mistake a lot of players make is that they draft the room like the laboratory. We already know that if we get power from the boiler room to the laboratory, we can pull the levers from the puzzle we saw a few days ago. If we draft the laboratory first and then look for the boiler room, we will never ever find success that way. We want to draft the boiler room first and then use the power drafting to get to the laboratory. That will increase our chances by like a gazillion%. So a lot of people will struggle with this puzzle and then complain that the game is broken. Nope, you just have to do this room first and then look for the laboratory. It's still not guaranteed, but your chances are way, way better. So I could just say, I'm going for that puzzle. 100% all in on that puzzle, even if I end up in a dead end. Or I try to make the best draft pool possible and see if I find other puzzles. I think I'm going to do this because I have so many gems that I don't know what to do with them. So we do have to use this Rotunda's ability, because this door is not available. Another neat thing about the Rotunda is that it allows you to rotate rooms for free. So once, I'm going to just do this so both doors are available. So when I'm drafting rooms, the Blessing of the Dancer lets me spend a gem to rotate rooms, but in the Rotunda I can do it without spending anything. So let's see what I can get here. Chapel, again, I don't know if I want to waste a shelter on the chapel. However, it is really, really well placed here. So I think I'm going to take it. And then I just don't lose the money. I don't care about it, but I don't lose it. Then we're going to take this one. This is a nice-ish room, but not here. Courtyard is great if I rotate it. In fact, it actually kind of wastes a spot, but whatever. I'm going to rotate the floor plan. And now this is the best I can do with Courtyard. It costs a gem, but I will get 2 gems in the room, so I will gain gems. I really love that. Any shovels here? Shovels, please? No? Okay. Okay, let's see what's further over this way. I want to draft on the east wing as much as I can. Great Hall's not super good because I don't have a lot of keys. So what I'm going to do is rotate the commissary and then pick the commissary. So, you know, spent a bit of gems. Not my favorite thing to do, but I will survive. Nope. We don't really have a lot of money, so we can't take any of that. That sucks. Day 20 and 21 will definitely enjoy having 50% off. So we want this to go to the right, and the Nook is what we're going to get, and we'll also get a key from that, which is great. Now if I find the boiler room, it's great because I have so many different options of places to go. I don't care about the dead end. But the chances are I'm not going to find it again because that would be too easy. Spread gems in every green room is really good. Do I really, really want this to move down? How much do I care about that? Also, I'm only going to get 2 gems from this. I'm going to get the gem in the patio that spreads, and I'm going to put a gem in the courtyard. So it's not a lot of gems. Whereas this, you know, I'm gonna make this executive decision and see if I can get the patio after I have other green rooms. It's a risk, and as we have discovered, taking risks in this game doesn't always pay off. Okay, so which is the better one to do? The Mage Chamber or the Gymnasium? Mage Chamber is going to be a dead end. It will be sheltered, so nothing will happen. Gymnasium will also be sheltered. Gymnasium is quite easy to undo its negative with the breaker box, but also it lets me continue a little further. It gets it out of my pool. I'm going to take this, and I'm going to then... There's no items in here. There's no items anywhere. Good grief. And then see what I can get here. Oh, here. Wine cellar. Wine cellar is a perfect dead end. Perfect dead end for me. This is a high gem run, which is good. This thing about the allowance is I can increase it beyond the 2 that it's at right now. There's still ways to do it. But the 2 gems I start with, I don't think there's a way to increase that. So there's no way to just start with a 10 gem load and just breeze my way through. I'm kind of stuck with what I have. It's good, but it's not improvable, so I need to be really good about collecting gems. Security's good. Anything I do is going to block the chapel, which is fine with me. I could rotate this to allow another access to the chapel, but that seems like a waste of a gem. This is the only thing that's not a dead end, and the security does have its uses. One of the uses being, let's check to see if I've missed any items in the estate so far. I have not. Let's turn the keycard system level. Let's set it to low because we don't have a keycard and we haven't turned off the power from the breaker box. If you haven't done either of those 2 things, set it to low. Offline mode always goes to unlocked. And so if I find the breaker box or the key card and I'm able to get back here, I reset the settings to high. Nothing else here. Please turn to the right. This won't be sheltered, so this is a bad pick. I want this to go to the right. A fun thing with the lavatory is that if you choose this, there usually is nothing in here, but if you are sheltered when you choose this, there will probably be some items in here. However, we've already used up our 3. It's unfortunate. I didn't really want to have the chapel or gymnasium be sheltered, but that's kind of how things ran. I could have chosen otherwise, but I just did it. I just did that, and it probably wasn't the best choice, because now I have to watch out for the worst of the worst rooms. I don't have money to buy any of this, but what do you got? Tomato soup. Ooh, this is actually a good one if I get some more money, because right now it's worth 20. Because it's worth 5, and then plus 5 for every red room in the house. Okay, give me something good. Drawing room is good if I were to rotate it. Pool is good if I were to rotate it. Great Hall, I don't really feel I have the keys to mess with that. It has the lever in it, but I don't have enough keys to explore all the doors. That is the trouble. Drawing room. Pool. Do I want to worry about these today? I don't think so. Let me rotate the drawing room. And, okay, fine. I don't want to spend another gem on it. And here we have our guy again. Nice picture. Okay. There's got to be something with these. This is just too weird. This horse seems to be measuring... Actually, hold on. This guy also is measuring the distance of their walk. This one's a small distance. That one's a big distance. Let's put a pin in that. Let's use this. Yay, lockpick. No to the archives. Oh, I don't have the gems or the cloister. So the question is, do I make the run really hard by taking the archives, or do I just do that, or do I just redraw floor plans? Let's just see if I get a better one. What would be better than this, though? Let's ask that question. What is better than what I have? I still have this route. I'm going to redraw. This is a better position for the Great Hall because I can definitely open the far door. So even if I can't open any of these, I'm going to take the Great Hall. So now I can use this. So we're going to start treasure map. Ah, because I'm in the room. This looks like the spot. Now to find something to dig with. Oh, come on. Okay, well, I'll figure that out. So I'm not able to pick this lock. That's good. Let's silver key here because I want a lot of doors. And it gave me some rooms that aren't super great. We're going to passageway, and now we have no gems. Okay, let's try to open these doors. I'm going to start by using my lockpick. That's nice. And, oh, well, that was just really lucky. So now we just have to make it to the antechamber. I think we can do this. We have a decent shot this run, as long as I don't play stupidly and or make a mistake or get really unlucky. So that one, if we can't unlock it with the lockpick, we do have to use a regular key, but I'm going to see which ones let me in. Okay, this is okay. I'm going to start by going this way. And I'm going to put the closet here, and we're going to say, please give us a key or a gem. Or a metal detector. Because the thing about the metal detector is it not only beeps when we're close to something, it just creates more keys and coins when we open new rooms. That's a good... Oh, I see. If we get close to... This is a door that must have items in it. So let's hope it's more than coins. Yes, I get my key back and a gem. So the thing about the Great Hall, behind the doors, is randomized which one goes where, but there's always 2 doors that lead to another room, like this one, 2 doors that lead to items, and 2 doors that lead nowhere. So this leads to an item, That leads to an item. This leads to a door. This door is a waste. One of those two is good, but I don't know which one it is. I don't care to find out right now. I'm going to see which doors are locked. That one is. I'm not able to pick it, but I need to open this one. Oh, that's not good. Oh, this isn't good. Because this is going to take me the wrong... I can't cut this off, otherwise the pantry needs to go around this way. So once again, I'm forced into the archives. Shoot. So, what we're going to do... Okay, money's alright. Was there a use for money? Going back to the kitchen and getting some food. That's the use for that. Another item. A key. That's good. What we can do is try to draft around and see if we get spread gems to every green room is good. We don't have a lot of green rooms, but that's okay. I'm going to take the patio here. Going to get the gem on there. Are we going to find any items? No. There's dig spots. We can't find a shovel today. Okay, I don't know if I want to use a key up there yet. Let's see what's on this side, and it doesn't matter because this security door is locked. So I'm going to take the patio here and take this door and see what I get. I'm going to use a key and hope that this gives me items I want. Okay, so what is easier, what is more likely? That I get a room that goes straight across, or that I get a room that bends to the left? Because this, I'm looking for a room that goes straight across, or as a T-shaped room like an aquarium. Aquarium would be great here. I also have Blessing of the Dancer. In fact, Blessing of the Dancer I think is going to make it easier here, because I just need any room that isn't only a straight shot. Library, and I'm going to rotate the library, and we're in. We're in like Flynn. Ah, I did it. It's only day 7, and we're getting into the antechamber. Beat that. Okay, we did the drafting strategy last time. Let's do... We know the fixed stars because that's in the observatory. No need to check that book out. Let's take the pump system user manual. We haven't been to the pump room yet, so let's see what this is about, because this might tell us how to use that. But we have to draft the library again after this. But we did it. We did it, girls. We did it. To continue up, you must go down. The basement key. Cool. So this is barred. We can't go through. And we didn't do it. So yeah, I knew this was coming. I played the game. Getting to the antechamber, you think, oh, we've done it. We've made it. Turns out there's another hurdle. So this basement key is probably the thing we need. And the trouble is, we're going to lose the basement key at the end of the day. So if we want to open this door and get in, we not only have to do that, we also have to get the basement key. I think. That's just a guess, considering it's in there. I could be wrong. Maybe the basement key isn't that useful. Let's head back down. So now the goal is to figure out what the heck to do about this basement. Special keys, basement key. No. I'm not able to pick the lock, so this is my last key. Probably not wise to use my last key here. Conference room, this is a good place to put it. Is there anything in here? There will be stuff if things spread, but I have security doors. Thank you, game. I thought I set it to low, and yet there still are a bunch of these. Well, if I make a breaker box, I'm pretty good there. How about this way? If it needs a key, I'm not able to pick the lock, so goodbye. I'm not able to pick these locks. I don't have a shovel. Hey, I'm still going to consider it a success if we manage to get to the antechamber. It's still good. We've done it. We know we can do it. We know how to do it. So now, let's head back to the chapel and see what we can get this direction. Garage ends the run. Terrace ends the run. This is a risk. And it doesn't end the run. Good. And the run's over. Okay, so is that right? We can't go anywhere? Can't go anywhere. But that is not a problem. Yes, we have been frustrated in our plans because that frickin' antechamber requires some other kind of thing to open the north door. That is where I imagine we need to go because we need room 46, not the antechamber. But some other good stuff. Well, mostly just the fact that we know how to get in here now. That's really the big thing for today. So what I'm going to do now is head back to the coat check, and I'm going to think which of these items is really, really important to have. I could put the basement key in here, and then I can just take the basement key when I find what to do with it, and I don't have to go back to the antechamber. That's a potential strategy. It is not required to do that, and the fact that I do not know how to get to the basement yet means that it's not the most helpful because it's going to lock up my coat check. If I put the basement key in here and say, I'm not coming back to the coat check until I find out what to do with this basement key, it means I'm never going to want to draft the coat check. Or if I do draft it, I'm never taking an item out. I could just say, screw it, I can get back to this antechamber, I know how to do it, it's possible, screw the basement key, I'm going to put something in there that's going to help me get around the manor a little easier, like a lockpick, or a metal detector, or a sledgehammer, and I'll just hope that I get back to the antechamber, get the basement key when I need it, because it might take me another 10 days to find the basement. We don't know. It could also be tomorrow. So there's a bit of, you know, strategy involved deciding which thing I want to put away. I am thinking I'm not going to put the basement key in the coat check. And I'm kind of basing this on my other runs, and I found that this didn't really help. When it came time to use the basement key, I found that I really was not in a position where if only I had put it in the coat check, I would have been good. Because here's the thing. If I get the basement key and discover whatever it does, even if the basement has a lever to open this north door, I still have to get to the antechamber. So if I can't get to the antechamber, it doesn't matter. But if I can get to the antechamber, I can just get that basement key again, right? So it's not that important that I put this away. Other items, however, are not guaranteed. This is guaranteed every run as long as you get to the antechamber. None of these are. And the lockpick is my favorite of those. So I'm going to put the lockpick in the coat check. And then, am I going to do anything else? I don't think any other room is something I can set up for tomorrow. Sure. Just out of curiosity, I don't remember, because I'm not like recording these back to back. We've done 2 of the flames down here. We've done 3 of the flames. I just have to find one more. We're going to figure out what this is. Let's check out the fountain. Make a wish. We throw a coin in the fountain. Neat. Just so you know, the wish isn't probably ever going to do anything. I don't think it does. I haven't found any use for that. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But we're not going to get our wish from that. My wish was just let me into the frickin' room 46. Yep, nothing to do but call it a day. Good work, team. I'm proud of us all. I could not have done it without your help. Sizable manor. I don't know if there's anything to this. Like, if there's a reason. It just kind of tells you about how you did that day, but I don't know if there are... if the game does anything based on what type of place you built. So I don't really pay a lot of attention to this. So there's that. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. I'm going to take a break now and come back with something else, maybe. Hope you enjoy. This is a great game, and you're all great people. Bye.